But we died slowly. So we never knew. We never knew. You know what I mean? That's what I get out there. You know what I mean? Knowing nobody died, but they knew. You know what I mean? Right away, and they got sick right away, and you know what I mean? They rushed to the problem right away, and we kept on year, not knowing. Wondering why we sick, wondering why people got cancer, wondering why things. Well, our animals got. My dog got sick, right? You know what I mean? Our animals died. You know what I'm saying, right? So we wondering, is it just normal?
You think the refinery knew, and
they knew.
They got scared.
No, I remember my father.
They didn't know how to react to.
They didn't care.
What was happening over here?
My father, I remember my father went to Sunoco and asked them in the city, what's going on with this? And they said, everything all right. We making sure we got safeguards in place, right? It's not going to affect y'all. And they lied. And the city knew, and the city lied. You know what I'm saying? And the newspapers too. See, all three of them, right? The newspapers knew too, because they did research. And everybody told the same thing. My father went away for a little while. He said, no, okay, they tell the truth until the next explosion. So he's been fighting this. My father was fighting this in the 70s. And they lied. And next time the fight came, Sunoco left. You know what I mean? They was like, oh no. You know? They said, no, it's time to go because we got what we got. They wake up now. They woke up to it. And they go back to what I just said, though. Them people here knew. Now, they didn't know before, but once it happened, they knew. And everybody attacked the problem.
Right? I only asked that question because I didn't know, and I was a little girl in school.
I ain't paying no mind.
And I was scared.
My father had a big meeting.
When they said y'all got to go home and you can't come outside and close your windows and shelter in place and all this old kind of crazy shit, I was a little girl and I was scared. I'm wondering they had to know, and I think they got scared.
This is a big issue. Again, the whole object, I think, is to leave a lasting sign. I keep on saying New York Twin Towers. I keep on. We killed more people. More people died here. Triple. I mean, triple. But they had like 6,000 or 2,000 died in the thing. We got 25, 30. You know, that might be more because the project was full.
Hi, my name is Tammy Reeves, and I am the event coordinator for the Resident Action Committee 2 and also the Tasker Morris Neighborhood Association.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Reeves, Charles Reeves, and I'm president of the Resident Action Committee, which is a nonprofit organization that services the Grace Ferry community in Philadelphia. We do a lot of outreach with children and seniors and schools, and we try to bring any resource we can to our community to try to help the best as we can to make the quality of life better.
I just think a memorial. I wouldn't say bury anybody there. I'm not interested in burying anybody there. I'm interested in it being like a sacred ground for, memorializing people who have passed away from cancer, asthma, things like that.
Heart disease.
All that.
Yeah, all the different things. Yeah. It's important. Like, it's important for us. It's important that people never forget that this is what I do this for. I don't want anybody to ever forget what Sunoco did to our community.
It would give people like myself a place to go and mourn my relatives, like my mom. It's just a peaceful place, not so far that you have to ask somebody for a ride to get to the cemetery or what have you. You can make it a memorial around there for people who cannot get to the cemetery as much as they would like to.
I personally think PPEH owes us. I think that we sacrificed our relatives for over 20 years, and we need a place where we can be reminded of all of them that died that we didn't know, I mean, that was killing us. So they owe us this. I think they owe us a spot where anybody can go, and also that children can go and remember. So a cemetery be a perfect place for people to go and remember what happened in the past, so we'll never forget. We can never forget the people that died before us, right? And the cemetery, to me, is already killing people. So what better place to put it than right there? Most of the people I know, I've been here 60 years, so I pretty much know a lot of people. And I believe they'll agree. We feel like, again, that we need something. You know what I'm saying, right? Let's get something. We ain't get nothing. We ain't even get restitution. We ain't get nothing. Right? You know what I mean? And they moving on. Like, everybody's moving on. Again, I always go back to not forgetting, because it's moving on. The neighborhood's changing. It's going to be forgotten. I mean, 5 years from now, it's going to be forgotten. I also believe we should be teaching this in school, but that's another issue. Right? But I think that the neighborhood is behind us. Again, we'll put a survey out to see. But I believe we ain't gonna have a problem with the neighbors. They will probably rejoice.
One of my sisters has been greatly affected by it. She had breast cancer. She had ovarian cancer. She beat both. To God be the glory. Her husband has congestive heart failure. And they're really angry about it. And when they had the explosion over there, the first go round, I'm not even sure of the dates, but a lot of the people on Tasker Street got paid because their houses had shifted. But not, they went out thinking, okay, we're going to get our house fixed, but wasn't thinking about their health and what happens after. And they really messed up around there. And I'm quite sure there's a lot of people around there that feel the same way. They feel like the refinery owes them. They owe them something. I don't think that the refinery ever said, we're sorry.
I agree. I believe that the majority of the people I talk to would agreeing with the memorial. But I also think that we're not going to be like the refinery, so we'll make a survey and we'll ask the question what they want. But I'm quite sure that we deserve something, and they would agree to it. They would agree to the spot, I believe.
They're never going to tell the truth. They're never going to take responsibility for anything that they did around their corner at all. And then, on top of it, we're black. So they don't give a damn one way or the other.
No. Listen, we ain't cutting no corners. We died, right? It shouldn't be no negotiation. It got to be right there on the land that made all that money, that killed all them people, right? Make some money, make some space, and put it on their land. Renovations is cute, and they got their own issues. That's a whole different issue, right? We need for people to come and visit the refinery site and read about it and find out how many people died, estimated how many people died there, and start thinking about what really happened with the air and the water. So if you really want to learn about clean air and water, you need to come know what they did to our community. And it got to be on that site.
But why not? Why not give us that? You took everything else away from us. So what would be the difference? We're not asking for the whole thing. We're asking for a little bit of space so that the people in the Tasker Homes community, Wilson Park, Passyunk is closed down now, but some of those people, those residents, have gotten put in Wilson, Tasker, Bartram Village. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for a whole bunch of money. We're not saying we're going to sue anybody. Not at this point anyway. But what else can we get from y'all?
I think it'd even be cute if you had 4 sites. If you had a site on that side where Bartram Village at, and you had a site with Wilson at Passyunk, and then a site here on the North Yard, right? It
And
gotta
that would
be
make
there.
sense.
It would be cute. It would be something that each person can get access to, and again, teach our kids. Our kids gotta remember why your grandparents died and why we don't got no pot streets because I don't have none, right? But we gotta remember all these things, and they don't. Our kids now don't even know what's going on. They just live. I mean, the kids in the school need to know. It should be a course, and when you got a course, you gotta have somewhere to go. And so let's ride across the bridge, expressway, and learn about what caused this neighborhood to die. And like you said before, how we just let black people die. Like, we're expendable,
That's
low
not
income.
cool. That's not
Even, I have to fix that too because I know a lot of Irish white people that live in this community who died too.
that were also affected by
So
it.
I have
Not
to
just
fix that.
blacks,
Yeah.
whites, Polish,
Irish.
Irish,
Yeah, definitely
all
Irish.
of them, everybody. But this whole community was affected by it in some way or another. Okay? And it's not fair.
Yeah, and as I open up this thing, I start thinking about this. And I remember me and the lady was in the hospital. And we used to fight when we was little because of racism. And then now we fighting over bed with cancer. Right? So I kind of had to look at her different. She suffered just like us. So we gotta be on this site. There's no getting around this site.
It's a war. That's all. It's a war.
We gotta be on there though. It's only right to be there. I got some spots in mind. I will discuss them later on, but it gotta be there. It's a way. To me, it's a waste of time not to be there. I believe the community will back me too. I think so. For it. Now, as I get older, I watch them, and they old. And they be like, "Yo, Charlie, I remember you went to Catholic school," and and I be looking at
What
them
was
like,
the odds of
is it
you going
different?
to the doctor
Yeah, we dying
and the
together.
woman being in there and she was dying also?
Yeah, we
and
dying.
you used to fight with them people every day.
Yes, her brothers.
Every day.
I mean, like we all was dying. So it wasn't. Was it racist or was it just poor? Like maybe the conversation wasn't racial. Maybe it was just poor. Because I seen the thing about Baltimore, and they Spanish, right? And I was like, well, so maybe they not picking a color. They picking a people. What you call it?
What, poverty?
Yeah, people who are a certain level, and you suspendable, right? You know what I mean? Even, and that to me is crazy because you got to pay for the doctor bills and all them years of money that you paid. You know what I mean, for the hospitals and all that, right? So to me, that wasn't smart. Whoever came up with that, you know what I mean, to let them die.
They probably thought you was getting welfare, medical, and
Yeah, the
somebody
government
else
though.
was going to pay for it. They didn't
Unless you
care.
wanted to fund the hospitals, I don't know. But again, I want to remember. I have to remember that I got a lot of white friends, not necessarily friends, but a lot of white families been affected too.
Associates and their kids have been affected and all.
And a lot of them died, and they right there with us. They died. They
I
suffered.
believe they'll fight with us too.
Yeah, they died. And when you talk about this, like Terry old, and Terry got cancer. And when I think about her, she's one of the RCO people, and Terry old, but she's been around here forever. So all her friends, you know what I mean? So right, it's just that we ain't talking to them. But they got the same, they probably feel the same way. Now that we woke up what happened. So we got a lot of people. But I keep on thinking that it's not just a black thing. The majority of black people got hurt, but there's some white people that didn't fit in a certain category. They had to go with us. And they they thought it was all right because they're in the houses.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we was in the projects. They thought, be all right. But that little spot back there by Tinoco, they all was white people. They all, and I know all of them died. All of them right there. All of them lived in that little land. They got RCO. I talked to the lady over there. She owned all that because you know what? She said everybody died. So Tinoco took care of her though. They took Eastwick and her. They both got. Is it the lead? Because I found out the lead messes with your brain. So if you breathe with something, imagine that. There's something in the water that we don't know. We don't know the effects and stuff because we don't even know what it is. So we can't, you can't tackle the issue until we know exactly what happened. And it seems to me that our communities are close to them for refineries got the same problem.
You ever heard the saying, something was in the water?
Yeah.
you know, because, I mean, you have children being born today with autism.
Philadelphia.
Yes, a big issue in Philadelphia. Asthma, you know, eczema,
Everybody.
all this. You know, my granddaughter was just diagnosed 2 days ago with asthma. Healthy is healthy. You know, so
Yeah, it's still there.
it's something in the water.
What happened? What made you react a certain way and you not? Like, what made me have prostate cancer and my brother not? You know what I mean? Like, my mother just died. My father going dementia. Like, what is? It's just a natural reaction. We need to study the effect of the community with all these stuff and what chemicals was there. Because I think people forget it's the water. Like that water been there off that river for a long time, and stuff been going in there. Right, you know what I mean? And they used to fish. I know my friends used to go down there, right? You know what I mean, and eat them dirty nasty fish.
And my brother-in-law to this day still goes down there to fish, and he brings home fish.
Yeah.
You know, and they clean
That's
it
a good question.
and they cook it.
Maybe not. Maybe they're not responsible for all of it, but we don't know what each individual react to each thing. So I don't know if 12 out of 100 react different to that chemical. So we don't know. I don't know. But we need to find. We searching for answers for so many different things. So we want to know why our community got to live like this. We want to know why we act like this. We want to know was you poisoned. We want to know why you didn't tell us. There's so many different
because
questions.
they were there for years.
Yeah,
For years, and we knew absolutely nothing. I can think of one person that actually worked in that refinery, and that was Mr. Ray.
And he still messed up.
Okay,
And
I don't know. I didn't never even know the man worked in there.
Yeah.
Never knew. I always thought he worked down at the gallery with his wife until he one day at a meeting said, "I worked there."
His
and
mom's
he's
sick.
messed up.
His mom's sick.
He just lost his brother. He's messed up. He got diabetes. He got all kinds of things going on with him.
That's a hard one. That was a hard question because you're always looking for some reason to find out why people react like they act. But you don't know for sure. What I do know for sure is a lot of people die from the air. I know that for sure. But I mean, now, the other questions, the fringe questions, I don't know. I don't know all the answers to them fringe questions. I know we live in an environment that's crazy. If that could be one of the reasons, we just looking. I would love to die leaving a memorial there. I would love to go. You know what I mean? It would be strong. It would be something real special. You know what I mean? And then I think, like you said, the money shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't. But again, it depends on how the documentary come out and you know what I mean, how people addressed it and how many people see it. And then I love it. We have to leave something. We ain't fight all these years for nothing, just for them to go away. You know what I mean? Just them take their money and go away, clean it up, put some cement over top and then move on.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.